kids, it's Mrs. Davis from Happy Place to Grow. I am so glad you are joining me today. We are going to be sharing a really cute story called Bear Feels Sick. In the last several videos, we've been talking about germs and how sometimes germs get inside of us and make us feel sick. We feel symptoms as our body is trying to fight off those germs. Sometimes we have a sore throat, we have a fever, our body aches. In today's story, this character, Bear, is going to experience sickness. Now, one of the tips that we said for staying well, if you know someone's sick or you're sick, it's a good idea to stay away from those who are sick, or for you to stay away from others. But still, sometimes when you're sick, you need special care. You need a caregiver. And, it's always important to take care of those that we love. And in today's story, these friends are sharing care and love because Bear needs someone to take care of him. So that's always important. When someone you love and someone you know is not feeling well, it's okay to care for them. So let's enjoy this story, Bear Feels Sick, and find out what happens when these forest friends all team up to take care of Bear. Now, before we start reading, I am going to go over a few words that we're going to encounter in this story. It's always a good idea if you're reading a story to think about some new words you may encounter. In this story, you're going to see the word achy. Achy just means your body hurts. And of course, we know sometimes if you're sick, that's one of the symptoms that you'll feel. I love this word. It's one of my favorites. Smidgen. I use it a lot. It means a very tiny, small amount, a smidgen. That's a cute word. We're also going to see the word coax. Coax. Coax means you're going to try to get someone to do something, and most of the time you want them to do it, but they are not too sure about it. They're unwilling to do it. So you're trying to convince them or to coax them into doing something. Has anyone ever tried to coax you into something you didn't really want to do? Takes some convincing for me sometimes. Then this word fetch means to go and get something. You may have heard of that word before. Fret. Fret means you're worrying about something. You're fretting over it. You're worrying. And then finally, this is a fun word, and this is a word you may want to use because it definitely applies to you. It's happily playing. It's the word frolic. Frolic. Have you ever frolicked outside? Happily played? So those are some words that we're going to see in the story. We're going to read the story, and when we're finished, we're going to review the characters in the story. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. Now, this is a fiction story because the animals in the story are doing things that people do. And anytime animals are doing things that people do or things that real animals can't do, it's a fiction story. So I hope you enjoy Bear Feels Sick. It's a great way to experience happiness and joy from your friends when you're not feeling well. So even though it's a fiction story, we can think about it for our own selves too. Bear Feels Sick. Alone in his cave, there he is. Alone in his cave, as the autumn wind blows, Bear feels achy with a stuffed up nose. He's gotten a germ. He tosses and he turns, all huddled in a heap. Bear feels tired, but he just can't sleep. He sniffs and he sneezes. He whisks and he wheezes. And the bear feels sick. Those are all symptoms. Those are all things that happen to your body when you start to feel sick. His friends gather around. Come out, Bear, and play. Bear shakes his head. I'm too sick today. Mouse mutters, oh my! Bear's head is too hot. Hare says, we will help. Here's a warm, cozy spot. When you're feeling hot, sometimes your body gets chilled. It's trying to cool itself down. So even though you're hot, you still need to cover up in a cozy spot. The friends are already starting to care. Bear mumbles and he moans. He grumbles and he groans. And the bear feels sick. There's all the woodland friends gathering around. Mouse squeezes Bear tight. He whispers in his ear, it'll be just fine. Your friends are all here. You know, sometimes if you're not feeling well, a word of encouragement from someone that's taking care of you definitely helps. Badger fetches water, Gopher cooks the broth, while Mole soothes Bear with a cool, wet cloth. Sometimes if you're feeling hot, your family member may lay a cool cloth on your forehead to bring your temperature down. Feels good. I love how all the forest animals and friends are doing different things to help Bear to relieve his symptoms and help him feel better. They cover Bear up and he drinks from a cup, but he still feels sick. You know, it takes your body to fight off those germs, and to kill those germs takes some time. You have to be patient. Raven says, caw, come along, Owl and Wren. Let's go gather herbs to bring back to the den. Herbs are plants. I bet they're going to make a delicious hot tea. They coax, oh, there's that word coax. They're going to try to convince Bear to sip just a smidgen, little amount of tea. You'll feel better soon, says Mouse. Wait and see. I always love to drink warm, soothing things when I'm feeling bad. What about you? Bear shakes and he shivers. He coughs and he quivers. And he still feels sick. This one's a bad one. It's going to take some time. His friends fuss and fret. The friends cook and care. They keep a close eye on their poor, sick bear. It's always a good feeling to know that someone is watching over you if you're not feeling well. That's a good feeling. They all talk in whispers. They walk on tippy toes. Be quiet. They sing lullabies. Then Bear starts to doze. You definitely need to rest when you're not feeling well. They watch Bear for hours. It's good to know someone's watching over you, making sure that things are going okay with you. Sometimes you get really sick and you have to go to the doctor, so you need someone watching over you. We've done all we could. Then Bear wakes up. That's a good sign. Let's see what happens next. And Bear feels good. He's all better. You know, most of the time when we get sick, it's just a matter of time. We're going to recover. I tell you, our amazing bodies, they're wonderful. Bear cries. Not sad, but happily. I'm all better. Like he's crying out. I'm feeling like new. I'm not hot and achy. It's all thanks to you. Let's celebrate now. Let's go out and play. Let's jump in the leaves. You know, it is autumn. Let's frolic all day. You know, frolic, happily play. He's ready to go out and play. You can't keep a good bear down. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Look what's happening on this page. Then Mouse starts to wheeze. That means you got like a little rattly when you breathe. And Hare starts to sneeze. Choo! Uh-oh. And the friends feel sick. Oh no! You know, if you are around someone who's sick, you might pick up their germ and get sick too. But if it's someone you love, you know you want to care about them. So you do what you need to. Bear murmurs, "Don't worry," and tucks them in bed. He bundles them up and kisses each head. Now it's time for him to care for his friends, and you know he's going to do a great job. He tells all his friends, "You'll soon feel like new. You took care of me. Now I'll take care of you. And the good thing, he's already had this sickness, so he won't get it again. So he can take care of his friends. And then I'm sure when they're all better, they're going to go frolic and play." Oh, that was such a cute story. I love all those characters, and I love how they took care of each other. Each one did things for Bear that they knew would help him to feel better, to alleviate or take care of those symptoms. And most of all, it just took Bear resting, and he was able to rest because he had good care from those that loved him. That's always good to know. I think you do get better when you know that someone's there taking care of you. Let's review those characters, those awesome characters. We had Bear, Sweet Bear, and then his friend Hare, Bear and Hare. Hare is a rabbit. Raven is a big blackbird owl. You know, you're familiar with an owl. Badger, another woodland creature. Gopher and Mole, both underground characters. Little Sweet Mouse and Little Wren. Those were all the characters in the story. Now, our other goal today was to think about the story details and to answer some questions. And if we need to, we can always go back in the book to definitely confirm if our answers are correct or if we're not sure. That's a great reading strategy when you're answering comprehension questions. Here's our first question. Who's the main character in the story? Main character, who's the story mostly about? Who's on every page? And this one's an easy one because the main character's name is on the cover. You know who it is. It's definitely Bear. He's the main focus of the story, so he's the main character. That's how you can identify your main character. Next question says, when does the story take place? So this is whenever you see the question word when, it's talking about time. Time, it could be time of day, it could be morning, noon, or night, it could be seasonal. So what time is it? So we're thinking about the time, and at the beginning of the story, it let us know that the story was taking place in the season of fall, because it even mentions autumn. So that's our time, the time the story is taking place. And then the next question says, where does the story take place? So where, it's always talking about a place. Where are the characters? And sometimes the place changes over time in the story. This one stayed the same throughout the story. They were definitely in the forest, but the main place that they were at for most of the story was in Bear's cave, in his den. So that was the place. They were taking care of him in the den. All right, let's go on. Why couldn't Bear go to sleep? So think for just a minute. What was the reason that Bear couldn't go to sleep? So why? It's a great question word. Why? What was the cause? What caused him not to go to sleep? What did you say? If you said it was because he was starting to feel sick, you are correct. Remember, he was achy and he was sneezy and wheezy and he was tired, but he just couldn't sleep. Because when you're feeling bad, sometimes you're restless. You can't sleep. Next question. When his friends came over to play and they realized he wasn't feeling well, this question says, how do you think their friends feel about Bear being sick? So how do you think they feel? So based on the story, what's your thought on that? I'm thinking, and maybe you feel this way too, I think they were definitely concerned when they saw that he was sick, and they decided to, because they were worried about Bear, they decided to take care of him. They knew he needed some help. So definitely, I would say concerned, worried. Is that what you were thinking? Yeah, definitely. And that is why they went to bat to take care of him. Here's a great question. As they were caring for him, what kind of voices did the friends use? In the story, what kind of voices? Loud? Or, yeah, they used whisper voices. Is that what you said? Yeah, they were so quiet. Because sometimes when you're not feeling well, noises, loud noises, you need to rest. And those loud noises, they bother you. You're a little more sensitive. So they respected that and they were quiet. What did a Raven, Owl, and Wren gather for Bear? Remember, they went out. Each character was doing something different to help Bear feel better. What did they go out to do? What was it? They went out in the forest. Did you say they went to gather herbs, those little plants? What did they make with the herbs? That's my own question. Yeah, they made that special herb tea. And they had to coax him just to drink a smidgen. I would definitely drink all of it. I love herb tea. Couple more questions. What did Bear want to do when he woke up? Because when he finally woke up, he was feeling better. What did he want to do? Did you say he wanted to go out and play? He wanted all his friends to go frolic outside? If you said that, you were correct. Definitely. But the friends couldn't go out and frolic because they started getting sick. Final question. Who took care of the friends when they got sick? This is an easy one. I know you know this. Friend Bear. And once they're all better, I'm sure they're going to go out and frolic and enjoy the fall. And then finally, Bear will get to go to sleep and enjoy his hibernation. That was such a cute story. And I really liked how the friends took care of Bear. That is so important. If someone you love is not feeling well and you care about them, you're going to want to provide things that make them feel better. You're going to want to get them in a cozy spot. And I know you, when you're feeling sick, you want someone to take care of you. I love to get in my cozy bed, and I like to have some things to read. If I have a temperature, I want to have my thermometer around, and I might need some medicine. I might need a cold cloth on my head, and I definitely want my herb tea. Something hot. Sometimes my family members like a milkshake that feels cool on their throat, makes them feel better. All right, kids, this has been a fun session together. We've learned a lot about germs and how they make us sick, but we've also learned that taking care of yourself before and during sickness is important too, and you're going to need some help if you're feeling sick. So don't be afraid if you get sick. Your body's an amazing machine. You have people around who care about you and love you, and you will get better. All right, kids, until our next time together, as always, stay healthy and have a good one.